Everybody, Mr. Hampton here, and this is going to be our very first cooking class. So bear with me as I try to figure all this out. But today I'm going to be sharing a recipe with you guys that you can use um, anytime you'd like to try a healthy recipe. So without further ado, let's get started. Today we're going to be talking about how to make spaghetti dinner just a little bit healthier. Okay. Um, Remember when we talked about our New Year's resolutions, we always talked about eating more fruits and vegetables. Well, today we're going to be using this vegetable. Okay, we talked a little bit about it last week. This is a spaghetti squash. Okay, you can find it at Martin's, Giant, Weis, Walmart, any place where you get groceries. Typically, you can find this laying around in the squash section. Okay, next to your zucchinis and all the other vegetables there in the produce section. So let's go ahead and get started, okay? This is going to be a great healthy alternative to spaghetti noodles. Okay, you still need spaghetti sauce, so use your favorite jar of sauce, whether it's Hunt's or Prego, any of those, whatever ones you like the best. You can even add meatballs and any other vegetables you like in there, but this is going to take the place of noodles. Okay, our noodles that we use for spaghetti typically have a lot of calories. They have a lot of carbs, which if you're trying to lose weight or you just want to eat healthier in general, this is a great substitution because this is just one big vegetable, okay? So what we're going to start off with doing is saying that if you guys do want to try this recipe, if you do want to cook, make sure you have a parent with you, okay? Because working in the kitchen can be dangerous if you're not safe. Um, we're going to be using sharp knives. We're going to be turning our oven on. We're going to be doing some things that if we don't have a parent with us, things could happen and we don't want anybody to get hurt. So I will say, do not try any of these recipes without your parents trying them with you, okay? If there's something you want to try, just have them work with you, okay? First thing we're going to do is we're going to take our knife, okay? I'm going to bring my camera down so you guys can see it. This is our spaghetti squash, okay? It's pretty big. It's pretty hard. It's kind of like a smaller pumpkin. And what we're going to do is we're going to take our knife and we're going to cut right here to get that stem off. As you can see, it can be a little hard to cut, so that's why we really want to have our parents with us. I'm going to get a bigger knife, actually, so I can cut through this a little bit better. But what we're going to do next is we're going to stand it up, and we're going to cut right down lengthwise because we want it to be nice and long. And we're going to just push down until we get it all the way through. Now, if you're having a little bit of trouble getting this knife through, one thing you can do is microwave it for a few minutes to help make it soft, but you don't want to microwave it too long because you don't want it to start cooking. So I'm just going to keep working my knife down until I get all the way through my spaghetti squash. Okay? And we've cut it in half. Now, if you look at the inside, you see all these seeds and all these stringy things. We want to scoop those out. You can use an ice cream scooper or just a spoon and just clean that out a little bit on both sides, okay? So let me grab, let me see if I can find it, my ice cream scooper. And I'm also going to grab a trash can to make cleanup just a little bit easier. So hold on one second. I've got my trash can. And I'm just going to start scooping, okay? Woo. Make sure you get all those seeds out because you don't want to eat the seeds. They're not very good. And some of that stringy stuff isn't the best tasting. So we just keep scooping this out. And I'll show you what the inside should look like when you're all done and ready to put it in the oven. My dog Liz loves this part because she likes to come over and eat all the scraps. So she just hopped off the couch and she thinks she's getting fed right now. But when it's all said and done, this is what the inside will look like. Okay, it's nice and smooth, no seeds, nice and open. Okay, I gotta do it with this side now because we want to make sure we use both sides, especially if we're cooking for our family. We're gonna have more than 3 or 4 people eat. We want to use both sides so we can feed everybody. Now, we have to be careful in scooping this out because we don't want to scoop too much. Okay, the more the better when it comes to eating. So now that I'm done, my next step is to take a little bit of olive oil, okay, or vegetable oil, whatever kind of oil you want. This isn't necessary, but it just makes it taste a little bit better, okay? And you're going to pour maybe just like a little teaspoon, just a little dab on each side, okay? Now I'm going to grab a little basting brush and I'm just going to paint the inside, kind of like I'm painting a wall, and just go up and around, okay? Doesn't have to hit everything. Just try to hit everything you can and go on both sides. Just make sure that the oil's on the inside of the whole spaghetti squash. Okay? Next, you're going to take a little bit of salt and sprinkle it on there. Not a lot, just a little bit. You don't want to put too much because the salt is really going to bring out the moisture in the spaghetti squash, and we don't want it to get really wet and slimy. So just put a little bit of salt, and then I like to put a little bit of pepper. Okay? Sprinkle it on there. Makes it taste good. Okay? And you don't have to add salt and pepper if you don't want to. This is just something to make it taste a little bit better because in all reality, we are eating vegetables here, so we got to make them taste a little bit better. Now, we're going to take these. We're going to put them in our pan. I like to put foil down so I can clean my pan easier, but you're just going to put them face down. Okay? And then they're ready to go in the oven. Before you do any of this, you can turn your oven to 400 degrees. Okay? 400. That's probably the best temperature we can use to cooking the spaghetti squash. So I'm going to go over here and turn my oven on. And then I'm going to wait till it gets ready up to temperature. So when it hits 400 degrees, it'll go beep, beep, beep. And then I know it's ready for me to put the spaghetti squash in, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and put this in. Say bye. And then we're going to check on it in about 30, maybe 40 minutes. And we're going to test to see if it's done, okay? If you'd like to, you can poke some holes in the shell. Doesn't really matter. But it should be ready in about 30 or 40 minutes. During this time, you can get your spaghetti sauce ready by just pouring your favorite jar of spaghetti sauce in a pan and warming it up, okay? I'll be right back. I'll see you later, everybody, and welcome back. We're going to check on our spaghetti squash because it's been about 30 minutes, maybe 45 minutes since we put it in, so I didn't want to take it out and start working with it without you guys, so it's the moment of truth. What I need to do first is put something down on my table, some like little hot plates, just so I don't burn my table. So I grab these. I'm just going to put them down right here. Okay, now when you open the oven, make sure you have a parent with you. Okay, you want to turn the oven off first. I'm going to do that now. And you need to grab something that you can protect your hands with because the pan is going to be very hot. It's been in there for a while, and we want to be very careful, okay? So I'm going to grab an oven mitt. And we're going to grab this out, okay? Get ready. All right, guys. Here it is, our spaghetti squash. It looks the same, but once we flip it around, you guys are going to be able to tell the difference, okay? I'm going to grab a fork. And I'm going to use my fork to flip it and to pull it apart, okay? Ooh, here comes all the steam. Gotta be careful so you don't get burnt. Okay. Oh, I think this came out perfectly, guys. I'm excited to show you. So, let me see if I can bring this up a little bit higher. And I'm going to bring my camera down so you guys can see me pulling it apart, okay? If you guys can see, we got some steam coming up, so it's very, very hot. If you want to, maybe give it a little bit of time to cool before you guys start spreading it apart, but watch what happens when we take our fork and we start moving it. We're going to make this spaghetti squash, the insides kind of look like spaghetti noodles, okay? I'm going to do it while it's hot just so I have some time to show you guys. I didn't want to wait all day for it and to be killing time, so here we go, okay? I'm going to bring it down here. I hope you guys can see it, but watch. We're going to start pulling it apart like this. Okay, just kind of start feathering it, pulling it off the shell. And as you can see, hopefully you can see, it's starting to come out. And when you start pulling it, it's really going to start looking like spaghetti noodles, okay? So we want to get every little bit out on both sides. And then we're going to pour it in a bowl so you guys can see it just a little bit better. But man, it smells good. It looks good. Look at this, guys. Okay? That's what it's going to look like. It's like little spaghetti noodles, but made from vegetables. Okay? So we're going to keep pulling it away. I'm going to do it on my other side here too. Okay, I like to use the inside of the fork because then you can really get back in there behind the shell. Okay. Now I'm going to show you two different ways you can use this as a recipe. Okay, I'm going to show you a fun way and then a more traditional way of eating like spaghetti dinner. But, oh man, this looks really good, guys. Okay. So you can see it right now. You're just kind of like fluffing it up, And this one came out perfectly. So I think that 30 minutes to 45 minutes was a perfect time to be in the oven, okay? So you can also use this for other things. The spaghetti squash can be used for anything you eat noodles with. So like chicken noodle soup or any kind of soup that requires noodles. You can take this out. You can make some other recipes, which I'll include with your portfolios. Some different spaghetti squash recipes. But this will be the easiest thing to make with spaghetti squash. Is just a typical spaghetti dinner, okay? As you can see, we now have them both kind of pulled apart. So we're going to take one half and we're going to put them in a bowl just so we can have spaghetti a typical way, okay? So let me grab a bowl. I've got my bowl right here. Let me put it right here for you guys so you can see it. We're just going to scoop this into the bowl, okay? Ooh. Now remember, it's going to be really, really hot. So make sure you're just taking your time. You're going to be careful, okay? We're going to get all of this into a bowl. And you'll be surprised how much you can make. And the best part about this is how healthy it is. You also feel really full after eating spaghetti squash because it's so packed full of water that you actually get full a little bit quicker, okay? So just try to scoop the sides here. Keep going until you get all the little pieces out. You don't want to eat the shell. The shell doesn't taste good, okay? But about half that shell filled up this entire bowl, okay? Look, it looks like spaghetti noodles. Pretty cool, huh? All right, so now I'm going to put this one to the side. We're going to show you what you can do later, okay? I've got my spaghetti noodles here. I'm going to try to find my very own spaghetti sauce. I hope I have some up here. Does not look like I do. I'll be right back, guys. I got to go downstairs and get some spaghetti sauce, okay? Hold on. I was able to find some spaghetti sauce. I have it warming up. I'm going to show you guys. You can just take your spaghetti sauce. It's in right here. You take your spaghetti sauce, just pour it right on in there, okay? There we go. There's our spaghetti dinner right there. Okay, make sure you get every bit of it. And then I'm just going to mix it up. So I want all my spaghetti sauce on every little piece. Okay. That's the best part of the spaghetti is the sauce. Now, you've got your spaghetti dinner. Okay, you can add more sauce if you want it. I don't know. My wife, she loves the dump sauce. And my daughter loves a bunch of sauce on there. I'm like a middle of the road kind of guy. But one thing I do like is to add a little bit of cheese. Okay. Cheese makes everything taste better. So adding a little bit of cheese to this gives you that dairy component of your meal. Okay. And your spaghetti dinner's ready. Okay? Let's try it. It tastes great. It's healthy for you. And you still get to slurp it like a noodle. All right, guys. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope this is a recipe you can all try. It's a great way to add more veggies in your diet. Making sure you guys are eating more and more vegetables, okay? It tastes great. It's something that you can enjoy with your family because it adds a lot, and maybe you might need an extra spaghetti squash, but they're relatively cheap. This one I think I bought was like $1.25, $1.50 a pound. So you can walk away with a pretty reasonable price spaghetti squash. And like I said, it tastes great. I'm going to keep eating as I talk to you guys. Now, there's also many other ways you can use it. The cool thing is if you want to have a little bit of fun, check it out. It comes with its own bowl. So all you got to do is put this on your plate, and you can just pour your spaghetti sauce right in there and eat it right out of the bowl it comes with. Pretty cool, huh? So, let me know if you guys enjoy it. Let me know if you guys try your spaghetti squashes with your family. I'll make sure to put... Sorry, I broke the #1 rule. Don't talk with your mouth full.